Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. If you're new here, I'm Kelsey Majorque Céline. We like fashion and we love handbags. If you do too, definitely hit subscribe and let's jump into this video. So if you clicked on the video today, you are obviously here for a review of the Louis Vuitton Alma BB bag. So I purchased this bag probably a few years ago, around COVID time frame. I don't remember exactly when, but I did purchase it from Fashionphile. And before I say any of this, no, this is not sponsored by Fashionphile. If Fashionphile would like to sponsor a video, I'm not going to be upset, but I did purchase this bag from Fashionphile very specifically because I could not get the bag when it was online on the website. It was never available. It was a pretty popular bag at that time frame, so I just couldn't get my hands on it, so I ended up going with Fashionphile. The bag was basically new when I purchased it. The only thing is it did not come with a box. It did come with a dust bag, but I'm not going to kind of bore you, so to say, with that. I'm just going to reveal the bag. So here it is. This is the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the black epi leather and silver hardware. Absolutely love silver hardware. You don't see that as often from Louis Vuitton, so this was perfect. So here's the bag, just to give you a quick overview. Again, this is the Alma in the BB size. So it's got the little LV logo imprinted into the epi leather here, and it's got the clochette, and then we have the two top handles and the crossbody strap. We have the lock here, the Louis Vuitton logo, and then the two zippers. And then my favorite feature of this bag, the little feet at the bottom. So then we go inside of the bag itself, and it's supposed to be black, but it'll show up as gray if you guys can even see that. It looks, like I said, it looks a little gray because of the material itself. But this is the interior. It's very open except this little pocket lining the back of the bag. Let's jump into my review, my pros and cons, pricing, all that good stuff. So my overall review of this bag is absolutely a 10 out of 10. I don't care what your occupation is, what kind of family dynamic you have, what your social life looks like. I would absolutely recommend this bag to anyone. So let's start with the pros. So my first pro is that this bag is extremely versatile to wear. So obviously you have the two strap options. You have the top handles that you can wear in the top handle fashion or on the crook of your arm, and then there is the crossbody strap. You can wear it on your shoulder or obviously crossbody. Now I'm 5'6", average build, and this bag does sit just below my waist. Letting you know that in case you have never tried this bag on or seen it in person and you're worried about the length of this crossbody strap because of your height or where it might sit, I will say that even though it sits kind of low with this strap, especially with it being non-adjustable, it does sit low. However, it's nice and thin, and it kind of helps when if you're doing something in front of you and your bag is sitting in front of you, you can easily swivel your bag to the back of you and you're still hands-free. It's almost like the bag isn't there, and that's such a nice feeling when you just want it to fit seamlessly into your life. The next part about this bag is that there are plenty of size, color, and material options for this bag. So I can't remember off the top of my head when this bag was debuted, originally. I cannot remember for the life of me, but it's been out long enough that it has definitely earned this spot in the list of classic bags from the Louis Vuitton fashion house. It's such a classic piece. It's so beautiful, and there are so many different variations of this bag. So any type of style that you might have, you can certainly find a variant that would fit your closet. Another pro about this bag is that with the size and the color and material and everything, it is very easy to transition this bag from day to night. So if you're somebody who doesn't carry a lot to work, you could certainly take this to the office and then take it to maybe go shopping later or go out to dinner. Wear it out when you're going on a little touristy kind of day, sightseeing day. Another pro I had again was the silver hardware. like I mentioned before, it's not as common to find bags at Louis Vuitton with silver hardware. Definitely more common nowadays, but in general, Louis Vuitton is still lacking in the amount of bags that have silver hardware versus gold. Another pro, which I kind of mentioned before, this is probably one of the best features about this bag, is that it does have feet. I love when bags have feet, and it's not as common to have these little bags with feet. I think because of the way this is made, you may find more bags that are like have this kind of structure that have feet, but in general most of the smaller bags don't, so I'm super grateful for the feet on this bag. That brings me into my next pro. I love Louis Vuitton Epi leather. It is, again, super durable, super structured. I love the fact that it's very plain, so to say. It's not jumping out at you, but it's still a very nice bag, and you can just tell it's very well made. And that leads me into my next pro, which is that you still get that Louis Vuitton quality, the Louis Vuitton feel and look, without it jumping out to the world that this is a Louis Vuitton bag. Obviously, if you're in this community, if you're watching this video, you would know this is a Louis Vuitton Alma BB. It's just in a very plain Epi leather. But I have had plenty of people in wearing this bag alone say, you know, they love it, it's really pretty, what kind of bag is it, where did I get it, whatever. And when I tell them it's Louis Vuitton, they're very shocked. They're like, there's no way. And then I show them like, hey, yeah, there's the logo here, there's the logo here, like this is a Louis Vuitton bag. And it's kind of nice because, again, you can wear a really nice bag, especially if you're into bags like myself, without screaming to the world that, hey, this is actually Louis Vuitton, or it costs this much money, or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, you've seen my videos with my Never Fulls before and everything. I love the classic monogram, I love the damier print, but there are plenty of times, more times than not, that I love just having this plain monochromatic look. And this will definitely serve that purpose. So I do love that about this specific bag. So as far as cons, I don't really have many cons for this bag. My first one is not specifically a con for me, but I'm sure others would have this as a con, that the strap is not adjustable. So I will say that, especially when you start getting into the larger bags, or when you go and kind of build your own version of this bag, you can choose different straps. They have thicker ones, they have adjustable ones, they have more fabric ones, like more fun kind of straps. I like this plain boring leather strap because it's super classic, but that doesn't mean that you can't change it. You could also get a strap that's not even from Louis Vuitton, and it would still look nice with this bag because it's so plain and classic. Another con is that the size of this bag, it being so mini, does limit the functionality of it. So kind of like I said before, if you're like a mom that has a lot of stuff, I would still recommend getting this. But if you're needing a bag like for all of your stuff for your kids or for school or something, the functionality is obviously very limited here in terms of those different activities that you want your bag for, because there's not that much room in here. You could probably fit an iPad mini in here, but like, unless you're putting all your notes on this iPad mini, I wouldn't take this across a school campus with pens and notebooks and everything else. You just can't fit them in here. Another con that I could see with this bag is that the shape of it does limit the space that you have. So like I mentioned before, I have packed this bag to the brim, especially because it's small and I do tend to carry a lot of stuff. So there is obviously more space at the bottom here, but then with this silhouette, while it's beautiful, it's this triangular silhouette that obviously you lose space as you go higher into this bag. So it's almost sometimes, like, depending on the shape of the objects you're putting in here, it's almost like a game of Tetris. So just be mindful of that. If this was like the on-the-go PM or that Fendi Sunshine tote that I did a review on before, they're made like a box, like an actual box. They're like mini tote bags. definitely would have more room in there. So those were all my cons. Let's move on to price now. So this particular bag in this color, material, hardware combination is currently retailing for 2,020 US dollars. I'll leave the euro conversion on the screen. I will say between the time that I did purchase this bag a few years ago and now, that $2,000 range price has not changed much at all. I know, especially like in the peak of COVID, the really steep price hikes started around that time frame. This was not one of those bags that got hit with a steep price hike. I don't recall this bag ever being significantly lower than $2,000 back in COVID times, like that 2019, 2020 time frame to now. It's been pretty steady around the $2,000 price range, which is good. And then if you go and look for this bag on the pre-loved market, to get it in like new condition, it's going to be around that price as well. You may find some of these for like, I don't know, $1,400 on like the RealReal or Rebag or Fashion File, or Yugi's Closet or something like that. I will say though, with this one, the price is very dependent on the condition of the bag. So if you see one on there for around $2,000, it's probably basically a brand new bag. If you see one for like $1,000, $1,100, $1,200, it may have some scuffs, some wear and tear, some odor. It might be missing like a clochette or something. But if we're talking this bag on the pre-loved market, usually if it's a much lower price, like a discounted price, it's because it's missing something or it's just not new. So definitely think about that. And there's nothing wrong with getting a bag that's worn in. I love vintage bags. There are some bags where I would much rather have the leather worn in than like a fresh, crisp new bag. But it's just something to think about if you're purchasing this pre-loved. And then for alternatives, if you maybe like the shape of this bag, but you don't like the epi leather, maybe you want something smoother and you don't want a pattern or anything, or you just don't want to pay Louis Vuitton's prices, I get it. There are a few alternatives. I know that Coach has the Revel bag. I believe it's this size, maybe a little bit bigger, but it is a smooth, plain leather. It is significantly cheaper. I don't know off the top of my head how much it is, but it's not $2,000. And I will say that if you've never used a Coach bag, their leather is divine and it lasts forever. I don't wear Coach now, currently, but I have a ton of Coach bags that I used to wear growing up back when Coach was seriously having their moment. Still have them, and those bags still look brand new. They look exactly like the bags that are in the store. That leather does not age. So it might be a better bang for your buck if you do get the Coach one. And then Gucci also has the Ophidia bag. I know they have this shape in a bigger size in the plain smooth leather. And they also have it, I'm pretty sure they have this in the empreinte, kind of like the imprinted G's in the plain leather. So it's just something to throw out there in case you're looking for it and you can't find it with like the plain leather in this size. And then I have seen the Row has a bag like this. I believe it's a little bit bigger. I have not seen it in person, but I've seen online like people have had it or people have looked at it, and a lot of them said that the price is a little steeper than what they would pay for the brand itself. And I've seen that about the Row overall, so it's not surprising, but it's something to think about if, again, you don't want to get a Louis Vuitton bag, so to say, but you want this silhouette. The only other bag I can think of off the top of my head is Prada. One of the Saffiano bags has this silhouette. It does come in this kind of size. It might actually be a little bit smaller, and I'm almost positive it does have feet, but it is the plain Prada leather. It's beautiful. And it just has a little classic Prada logo on the front. You could probably get it on the pre-loved market for like $700-800, so that might be a good way to go as well. That is my overall review of this Louis Vuitton Alma BB in black epi leather. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, and let me know in the comments if you have this bag in a different variation and how much you're loving it or how much you're not loving it. If you like this content and you'd like to see more, definitely hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.